In Audre Lorde's poem, What My Child Learns of the Sea, the speaker muses upon her daughter's future development and growing awareness as a person. One discovers that the speaker is the mother and that my child is her daughter. The poem comprises of four stanzas, turns around the cycles of nature, but not in the typically accepted seasonal order of spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Rather, three seasons are introduced in the first stanza in this order: summer, spring, and autumn. The poem's title, reinforced by its repetition in the first line of the first stanza, introduces the key phrase learns of the sea. The speaker's daughter will learn something about the sea and about life. She will learn about mystery of the existence of summer thunder and of riddles that hide in the vortex of spring. Given that a riddle is something mysterious and difficult to understand, the speaker's daughter will move from a position of lesser understanding to one of greater comprehension, as if on a voyage of discovery and learning. Because a vortex, by definition, is a dangerous whirlpool, there is an element of danger that will be better understood. The speaker expects that her daughter will better understand these natural mysteries of sea and season in my twilight. Though the concept of twilight embraces the half light periods just before sunrise and just after sunset, twilight represents the speaker when she approaches old age. She projects that her daughter will come to understanding when the speaker is aged. The final two lines of the first stanza introduce the idea of revision, an important part of learning. Because of the incorporation of new sense data, ideas, and reflection, one's initial ideas about the world are periodically revised. In this case, the speaker predicts that her daughter will childlike revise every autumn. As a metaphor, autumn can represent a person at or past middle age, but in this instance, it is modified by the word every, indicating that actual early cycles are meant. What happens every autumn that would inspire revision to one's learning? In the United States, the school year begins anew every autumn, and students learn new things while revising what they have already learned from previous years. The second stanza repeats the first line of the first stanza, except for the phrase of the sea. The speaker's daughter will learn as she grows older, mysterious things and the mature speaker has come to know. Specifically, the speaker refers to her daughter learning about something that has ripened in my own body. The term ripened suggests maturity, full development. One refers to fruit as being unripe or green and not ready for eating. Ripeness being the optimal time for eating and overripeness too late. Ripening in one's own body refers to physical as well as mental development. Because what my child learns of the sea deals directly with motherhood, the term suggests the development of a girl's body from childhood through adolescence to full maturity. In other words, growing from premenstrual girlhood to the years when most women are capable of childbearing, generally from the teen years into the early or mid 40s. The speaker's daughter will, as she grows older, understand that her mother bore her in her body and gave birth to her, and that she herself might become a mother in the future. The stanza ends by saying that the speaker's daughter will see and understand, will learn what the speaker has learned. She will learn things about her mother and herself. This learning will enter her eyes with first light, though she already can see her mother from the time of first consciousness. Clearer seeing will only come with physical and mental maturity. In stanza 3, the idea of menstruation and motherhood are reinforced through the words blood and milk. The stanza builds on the second, suggesting that the speaker's daughter will grow beyond thinking of her mother as a childbearer and nurturer to become, to the speaker, a strange girl who will step to the back of a mirror and will be soon be cutting my ropes of sea, thunder, sun. A mirror requires light to reflect images. And the second stanza ended with the notion of the speaker's daughter learning things the speaker knows by seeing with first light. Stepping behind a figurative mirror, the daughter steps out of and away from her mother's image and cuts the metaphorical umbilical cord, distancing herself from some of her mother's mysteries. The speaker thus speculates that she will seem less magical and mysterious to her daughter as they both grow older. To the speaker, her daughter will become a strange girl, no longer just a dependent child to be nurtured with milk. The fourth and last stanza repeats previous seasonal references, autumn from the first stanza and the winter from the second. The contrast between the daughter's learning and awareness with the speaker's distance is emphasized by the line, I stand already condemned. The speaker projects into the future the fact that her daughter will come into her own, but that she will have had a profound impact. Even though her daughter will have come into her own, her mother will have been condemned by having left a lasting and unshakable impression. Specifically, the speaker's modeling of how to taste her autumns as well as the words she will use for winter will remain with the daughter despite her growing independence. The introduction of food and taste imagery beyond infant milk is suggested with the descriptive compound toast brittle, but this is counterbalanced by the following warmer than sleep, a phrase that suggests a calm, warm sea and the protective womb before birth. If there is a moral to the poem, it is that once a mother, always a mother, and once a daughter, despite growing autonomy, always a daughter. More generally, the same can be said about any parent child relationship. The poem What My Child Learns of the Sea deals in large part with the growth and development of a mother and daughter through time. The speaker, as mother, mentions her own ripening as a way of comparing and contrasting the things that her daughter will learn both mentally and physically. Both the speaker and her daughter will continue to grow and develop as they grow older. The speaker has already developed into adulthood, so her daughter will only fully come to learn the kinds of things she knows when the speaker has reached at autumn or late middle-aged years. Presumably, there comes a time in one's life when the learning process slows and one comes to terms with death. Early on, especially in infancy, the learning process is rapid and chaotic. Only during the summer and autumn years one can learn and reflect on a relatively even keel, incorporating new data. Changes in consciousness over time are suggested throughout the poem. The speaker's daughter will move from a state of dependency on the mother to one of greater awareness. The speaker reflects her own self-consciousness by projecting changes in her daughter's way of seeing things as she grows older, while at the same time recognizing her own perceptions. Her daughter will become more conscious as she ages, learning much from her mother, but eventually coming to greater consciousness on her own. Consciousness and the articulation of self reflective thoughts are presumably furthered along by reading and writing. Much of the daughter's basic vocabulary is instilled by the speaker. Therefore, the speaker is condemned for the ways her daughter will comprehend life through her example or model and for the words she will use for winter.